Wow, 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 wow. Guys, I still. Oh man. So you see, TikTok. Let's do this. Alright, let's do a bunch of. Yeah, this thing is stalled. Yeah, they got us on. They got us stalled, man. Let's type FYP, TikTok Live, Great Live, Samsung, iPhone. Commercial. We are here to sell Chinese product, right? Samsung, iPhone, man. Guys, you gotta go shopping, man. TikTok shop option is the best, man. TikTok shop, man. Don't go no more to Walmart, Target. Don't go to the store anymore. Just stay home, buy your stuff from TikTok shop, right? You're right there. You're gonna have a very nice shopping experience, I'm telling you, right? So you have the store right there on your phone, and it is on TikTok. Use the TikTok shop option and you will be served. It's just like, it feels like you are in the store shopping, right? Great shopping experience. Whoa. You see, guys, man, we have to sometimes do, I don't know. Right? Gonna do best live, right? Okay, now we have generated a table. We are, I think they got us. I think the day we're gonna be like that for many days, guys. I see that coming, right? They got us stuck again, and they are not showing visibility again. Right? So it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, we are into class, right? So we can make we can make a video. I'm gonna make videos after and post it for those who did not see that we live. But anyways, so all right, all right. Um, we're gonna have. I have something to present today, man. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start because this thing here is too damn powerful. They took exactly what the Bamana people. So the Bamana people knew they were doing something. The Bamana people were doing something, and to the best of my ability, I'm going to explain that. Now, let's break it down, and I need to drop a video on this. We need a Bamana priest, man. We need a Bamana priest. Because what the Bamana have been doing is exactly what computers are doing today. And they call it multiplexer. Yes, the 4-bit register in the common bus follow the concept of the mux. When you hear mux, those are multiplexer. A multiplexer basically is in charge to do operations, right? Like arithmetic, moving bits around, and things like that. Multiplexer are in charge of moving bits to a specific register or a specific, bit number, right? And this diagram that you have here, did you know our ancestors knew this, and they were doing this in the sand? The marks, they were generating marks They were generating numbers out of mocks. And I'm going to show step by step the mocks scheme and how those mocks are being generated in the Bamana code right here. They were doing just that. So they copy exactly what we see here in terms of the mocks. And I'm wondering if there is even more that they got out of the Bamana. These people been doing this for thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years before computer even came in the picture. Right? Now, so here in computer science, we have a 4-bit register in the common bus system, right? 4-bit. You remember the 16 register multiplexer we've seen in the early, right? In the very early microprocessor, Intel 4004. That's what our 16 sign embedded in there. We have 16 register. Now, in this example that I'm taking here, right? We're going to start with 4 register. Right? We're going to start with 4 register. If we understand what's going on with 4 register, we will know what's going on with 16 register, right? So we're going to start with just the 4 register. Each register is a placeholder. It's a placeholder. And each head register has an address. The address of the register is what we have here, right? This is what we have here. These are addresses of the register. For example, you have the 16 sign, right? You have 16 register with the 16 sign, right? These are register address, right? So 16 sign, 16 register. You can increase to 5 digits instead of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of 4 digits, you can increase to 5 digits, to 6 digits. And the greater the number of digits, the bigger the register map, right? For example, if we're using 5 bits instead of 4 bits, 5 is going to be 2 to the power of 5. 2 to the power of 5 is 2 to the power of 4 times 2. That's 16 times 2, that's 32. You max out, right, the size of your registry, right? Instead of 16, you go to 32. And you can do that. You can increase more and more and more, right? So here we have a typical example of a 16 base, right, register, right? 16 register of 4 bits. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these are 4 bits, right? So when we look here, we have a register A, B, C, and D. Now, each register here have what? It has 4 bit. This is bit 0, bit 1, bit 2, bit 3. That's register A, and we're gonna call those bits A0 because this is register A. We're gonna just say A0, A1, A2, A3. Register B, B0, B1, B2, B3. Register C, C0, C1, C2, C3. Register D, D0, D1, D2, D3. Bam. Now, we start with 4 register, right? In the Bamana. Did you know in the Bamana, they also started, our ancestors started with 4 register? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? The first 4 register. How are the first 4 register generated? Well, we have explained this here, right? They quickly draw in the sand 4 rows and they pair up the strokes, right? They quickly put these strokes, right? You know, it will seem, it will appear to be random, but there is a rule and a law that we still need to understand and figure out what is the operator, what is basically dictating or picking specific pattern or specific orders here, because this is where the sign is going to be extracted into this through what? Through the pairing. So we start pairing the dots that we have drawn on paper or maybe in the sand, right? We left with one single stroke, we put a single stroke here, and then for the next row we paired everything here is even, right? So we left with the last two is 2, or the remainder is 0 right here, right? Because we pair up everything. 0 is double, is 0 is even, right? So the 0 is the double bar. The 0 is the double bar. Or you can just say that whatever is left, right, if it is not odd, you carry over the number of stroke, the number of the last stroke. You can say that the last stroke over here, or a group, it is a pair, so you just put the double there. Simple. Next row, right, we have a 1 stroke left, you carry that over right there. Next row, you don't have a leftover, so you carry over the double. Bam, you have the first number. They will do this 4 times. They will do this, they will repeat this 4 times. Now, did you know that in a 4-bit register in the common bus system, they start also with 4 register? Look at that. In a 4-bit register, they start with 4, right? The Bamana perform this 4 times in order to place, right, these single stroke and double stroke are now going to be represented by either A0 through A3, B0 to B3. This is going to be first trial, first sign, which is going to be that one, right? This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. B, register B is going to be the second one. Register C is going to be that one. Register D is going to be the 4th one. So you see, in the Bamana system, they start exactly with 4 register. And after the 4 register, they start doing what? They start moving, they start reading from, right, the head. We can say that a sign is composed of 4 parts: the head, the neck, the body, and the feet, right? Now, what they do here is, in order to come up with the next series of sign, what do? They write down the first 4 sign, and then they make up the 5th sign by reading out all the top of the column, by reading out just the tops. So this first row here is going to be only the top. You read sideways, right? They read sideways and they place it vertically. 1 1 2 1, 1 1 2 1, 2 1 1 2, 2 1 1 2, 2 1 1 1, 2 1 1 1. Bam! Did you know that this that they have just done here is a multiplexer? They have just generated 4 new numbers using the multiplexer. But this multiplexer is basically subtle, right? They just did a rotation, but they don't know what they just did right there. It's very key, right? Because now in computer science, they're going to take the 4 sign. Look, watch this, what happened here. Look at that. A0, A1, A2, A3. What happened here? They will write down 4 mux. So each of these is a mux. This is the output of mux. We're gonna call this mux 0. This is the output of mux 0. This is the output of mux 1, mux 2, mux 3. Right now, what is mux? Right, for example, the first one here, mux 0. Let's go with what mux 0. What is mux 0? In order to make up mux 0, look at the bit. You take all the zeros, because you only have A, right, and this is zeros right here. So look at that. You take A0 here, you take B0 here, you take C0 here, you take D0 here. So in order to form the first mux here, mux 0, you take the first position, right, from the right over here, and then you're gonna make up the new number. You see that? A0, B0, C0, D0. For mux 1, you take the ones. A1, B1, C1, D1. Mux 2, you take the 2, A2, B2, C2, D2. Mux 3, you take all the 3, A3, B3, C3, D3. Bam, right there. This is exactly what our ancestors have done over here. Multiplexer. Oh, man, I'm telling you, we need Bamana. That I know the theft is beyond imagination. I'm telling you, y'all. The theft, I'm just like you. I have my hands on top of my head and I'm like, holy shit. This is just exactly what the Bamana people have done. And we watched the video of Ron Eklash. He was begging, he begged the Bamana priest for the sign. How do you get the next? Because the Bamana priest showed him how to generate the first 4 number. You just draw in the sand, you pair them up, you create the first one, you repeat this second time, you have the second sign, the third time you have the third sign, and the fourth time you have the fourth sign by repeating this. This stop right there. And he was like, how do we get the other 12 sign? Because there's a total of 16 sign. They said, no, we cannot teach you that. He said, I will pay you money. Hold on, let's play the video, right? This is important. Let's run the video, right? Let's just run the video, and you're gonna hear it, right? Let's just hear it again. We are not gonna stop playing this, man. This thing guy here, his video is can play as evidence to back up. So it's commercial time. Wait a minute. All right. So let me put that at the right minute.
Fractals that I found was actually not. Now, he said we know from experience that the farther up from the ground you go,
He hasn't started yet. Wait.
the wind blows, right? It's just like a cost-benefit analysis. And like measured out the lengths of straw, put it on a log-log plot, got the scaling exponent, and it almost exactly matches the scaling exponent for the relationship.
He has not started yet.
In the wind engineering handbook. So these guys are right on target for a practical use of scaling technology. The most complex example of an algorithmic approach to fractals that I found was actually not in geometry, it was in a symbolic code.
Okay, there we go. Now it started.
And the
Watch
same
this.
divination system is found all over Africa. You can find it on the East Coast as well as the West Coast. And often the symbols are very well preserved. So each of these symbols has 4 bits. It's a 4-bit binary word. You draw these lines in the sand randomly. And then you count off, and if it's an odd number, you put down 1 stroke, and if it's an even number, you put down 2 stroke. And they did this very rapidly, and I couldn't understand where they were getting, they only did the randomness 4 times. I couldn't understand where they were getting the other 12 symbols. And they wouldn't tell me. They said, no, I can't tell you about this. I said, well, look, I'll pay you. You can be my teacher, and I'll come each day and pay you. I said, no, it's not a matter of money. This is a religious matter. And finally, out of desperation, I said, well, let me explain George Cantor in 1877. And I started explaining, why I was there in Africa. And they got very excited when they saw the Cantor set. And one of them said, come here, I think I can help you out here. And so he took me through the initiation ritual for a Bamana priest. And of course, I was only interested in the math, so the whole time he kept shaking his head, going, I didn't learn it this way. But I had to sleep with a cola nut next to my bed, buried in sand, and give 7 coins to 7 lepers, and so on. And finally, he revealed the truth of the matter. And it turns out it's a pseudo-random number generator. They're using deterministic chaos. When you have a 4-bit symbol, you then put it together with another one sideways. So even plus odd gives you odd. Odd plus even gives you odd. Even plus even gives you even. Odd plus odd gives you even. So it's addition modulo 2, just like in the parity bit check on your computer. And then you take this symbol and you put it back in. So it's a self-generating diversity of symbols. They're truly using a kind of deterministic chaos in doing this. Now, because it's a binary code, you can actually implement this in hardware. What a fantastic teaching tool that should be in African engineering schools. And the most interesting thing I found out about it.
You heard it? You can actually implement this in hardware. These are our sign. Our 16 sign is right there. Look at that. Right? And you can actually implement this in hardware. This is, they're going to take this, they're going to convert it into Boolean or gate, right? The gate system. We're going to get into it, right? So, but you heard it. You can actually implement this into hardware. That's what they did exactly. So our ancestor, man, they were doing high level, robust algorithm by moving and manipulating these numbers. And someone is going to tell us today that black people are just about singing and dancing. Hell no. Sport, singing, dancing. No, we are better than that. And we have the knowledge, we have the capacity, we have the courage. We just need to unlock our true potential. It's right there in every single black man and woman. It's dormant. It's dormant. It's sitting there waiting to be unlocked, waiting to be triggered. And over here, what we do is we are doing the best we can to elevate that level of consciousness, right? So you can unlock your true potential, your true self. It's called, in Yoruba metaphysical concept of the Ori, it's called the Iponri, your higher self, your true self, right? Now, let's move on to the video.
Was historical. In the 12th century, Hugo of Santillana brought it from Islamic mystics into Spain. And there it entered into the alchemy community as geomancy, the divination through the earth. This is a geomantic chart drawn by for King Richard II in 1390. Leibniz, the German mathematician, talked about geomancy in his dissertation called De Combinatoria. And he said, well, instead of using one stroke and two strokes, let's use a 1 and a 0. And we can count by powers of 2.
There we go.
Right? Ones and zeros, the binary code. George Boole took Leibniz's binary code and created Boolean algebra, and John von Neumann took Boolean algebra and created the digital computer.
There we go.
So all these little PDAs and laptops, every digital circuit in the world started in Africa. I know Brian Eno says there's...
Every digital computer in the world started from Africa. I'm sure the audience was shocked. I'm sure the audience was shocked, right? Every single computer, cell phone, electronics, guys, they are not only getting the coltan and the materials from the Congo, they also got the software from Africa. They have not only, so they are getting everything from out of Africa. The software, the thought process, the algorithm, right, came out of Africa. The raw materials to make this come out of Africa. Man, I'm starting to think like we need to know more about our ancestors. I'm sure if they knew this and they had the raw materials needed to make things moving, I'm sure Africa at some point in time they had sophisticated stuff, super highly sophisticated stuff, right? We need to just dig and find out, because Muzungu has been erasing and basically make disappear a lot of information, because Muzungu wants to be part of the history. They don't want to see themselves being singled out from the whole history. So you have to find a way to insert yourself and to sneak through and be like, oh, I was there. Yeah, I did this, I did that. No, our ancestor master the multiplexer. Look at that. This is a 4-bit register in the common bus system, y'all. And you have 4 mux in front of 4 register. Our ancestor moved the digits the same way. You take all, man, let's just finish the video, man. Let's just finish this video.
There's not enough African computers, but I don't think there's enough African history, Brian. words about applications that we've found for this. And you can go to our website. The applets are all free. They just run in the browser. Anybody in the world can use them. The National Science Foundation's Broadening Participation in Computing program recently awarded us a grant to make a programmable version of these design tools. So hopefully in 3 years, anybody will be able to go on the web and create their own simulations of their own artifacts. We focused in the U.S. on African-American students as well as Native American and Latino. We found statistically significant improvement with children using this software in their mathematics class in comparison with a control group that did not have the software. So it's really very successful teaching children that they have a heritage that's about mathematics, that it's not just about singing and dancing. We've started a pilot program in Ghana. We got a small seed grant just to see if folks would be willing to work with us on this. We're very excited about the future possibilities for that. We've also been working in design. I didn't put his name up here. My colleague Kerry in Kenya has come up with this great idea for using fractal structure for postal address in villages that have fractal structures. Because if you try to impose a grid structure postal system on a fractal village, it doesn't quite fit. Bernard Chumi at Columbia University has been interested in using this in a design for a Museum of African Art. David Hughes at Ohio State University has written a primer on Afrocentric architecture in which he's used some of these fractal structures. And finally, I just wanted to point out that this idea of self-organization, as we heard earlier, it's in the brain. It's in it's in Google search engine. Actually, the reason Google was such a success is because they were the first ones to take advantage of the self-organizing properties of the web. It's in ecological sustainability. It's in the developmental.
The reason why Google was such a success is because they took advantage of the self-organizing system found in African spirituality. Wow. So Google today, the engine, guys, that's why we actually love phones. We love computers. We can, I mean, our cell phone are kind of like a little pet, right? A little pet. You sleep with it. Anywhere you go, you drag it with you, right? Always checking something. We can live without it, man. That's how our ancestors could not live without divination. They could not do it without it, right? They could not do it without it, right? They loved it. They loved it, right? So they wanted to know what will be the outcome of this. If I do that, what will be the outcome of that in the next year? They were doing forecasting. Who did this? Who did that? What do I need to do not to be in this situation this year and things like that? But they were basically using deterministic chaos based on self-organizing, exactly what the Bamana were doing. Right. So let's wrap there. We have 30 more seconds, I think.
Power of entrepreneurship, the ethical power of democracy. It's also in some bad things. Self-organization is why the AIDS virus is spreading so fast. And if you don't think that capitalism, which is self-organizing, can have destructive effects, you haven't opened your eyes enough. So we need to think about, as was spoken earlier, the traditional African methods for doing self-organization. These are robust algorithms. These are ways of doing self-organization, of doing entrepreneurship that are gentle, that are egalitarian. So if we want to find a better way of doing that kind of work, we need to look only no farther than Africa to find these robust self-organizing algorithms.
Wow. He said we need to look out in Africa in order to find those robust algorithm. Even today, he's saying that they need to look into Africa. They need to keep tapping into Africa in order to extract more robust algorithm. That's why they brought the Bible and the Quran. So when we are too busy going to church, going to the mosque and praying, they are extracting the information from our Babalao and Ifa priest, Mungoma, Sangoma, and Bamana priest. Right? They are extracting information and they're creating computer models. They're modeling new stuff out of our information. Nah, bro. Wow, this is... Alright. Whoa, guys. So basically, we have just explained here that at this level stage here, first in the Bamana system, they generate four number. The first four number are generated through this process here. So in computer science, they start with four register here: A, B, C, D. And then the next number that will be obtained is going to be through multiplexing. What is multiplexing? Multiplexing are placeholder in charge of performing and extracting digits and arranging digits to a specific, right, a pattern. For example, this is bit A0 to A3, B0 to B3, C0 to C3, D0 to D3. Each of these have 4 bits, 4 register of 4 bits, right? Now, what the multiplexer, the first multiplexer here, what does it do? It extracts all the top, all the first. A0, B0, C0, D0, bam. That will be multiplexer mux 0. Second mux, right? You take the second level, A1, B1, C1, D1, bam. And then A2, B2, C2, D2, and then, right, A3, B3, C3, D3, bam. What they just did right here, is over here within the Bamana. After generating the first 4 numbers, they are multiplexing here. So these are output of a multiplexing operation. They multiplexed the first 4 signs to generate 4 new signs. You see each of these, and you see the equation behind it. It's basically, okay, so I have a better illustration over here in this example. And in this example here that I'm about to show here, hold on. This example here is what they took the information from the Bamana and they basically applied that here. Look at that. This is the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. Register A, B, C, D. Now, register the following next register. You see, the first register here is what? The first register here is obtained by doing what? By taking all the heads, meaning all the top, right? The top of the sign here. The next one is obtained by taking all the next digits, all the bodies, all the feet. So when I say the first row here is, this is the head, this is the neck, this is the body, this is the feet, right? So you take the 4 numbers here, right? These 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you read like this sideway. You read sideway to get the new one. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, right? 2, 1, 1, 2. Right there, what they did here, what our ancestors were doing here, they were basically multiplexing. Now, what is the purpose of multiplexing? Why are they going to multiplex it? You see? So we have to understand the purpose of the multiplex and what does it do. And then they just took the principle and they basically made an equation out of it. So anytime you have a number, right, a set of 4 register with 4 numbers, you can multiplex in order to do what? Operation. 4 line command bus, common bus. So basically the multiplexer allows you to get data input, right? You get input data, and then on the output you generate new number, right? This is the 4 to 1 mux, meaning in input we have 4 bits or 4 entry. The output would give you, right, 1 number, right there. You're going to end up with either a bit, right, because this is the 4 to 1 mux. We can have a 4 to 4 mux. A 4 to 4 mux is going to generate exactly, right, the number of this order. So instead of 1, we have 4 here. Instead of just 1 bit output, we have 4. So this is in the Bamana case, this is going to be a 4 to 4 mux, 4-bit input, 4-bit output, right? That's exactly what we're doing here. Man, the level of knowledge of the ancestor was just, it's crazy. And then after generating the next 4 by multiplexing them, right? Then they pair them up and they do the odd even, right? Is odd. Even odd is odd. Even and even, right? Is even. Odd and odd is even. They apply that law here and they generate the next set of number. This example that you have over here, right, is 100% the Bamana right there. Who was doing this? They took the knowledge, and this is what they came up with in Europe. They change, right? They call this the head, the neck, the body, the feet, and they assign the mother sign. They start with 4 mother sign, right? And then they generate $4. And then from the $4, they obtain, right, the nephews. These are the nephews. And then the witnesses, then the judge, and then the last sign is going to be the pairing of the very first one and the 15 one. You see here, this is 15, and then you're going to pair that up with the very first sign at the beginning right there. Bam, you get that one, which is exactly what is done here within the Dogo. They copy and paste. This is copy and paste right there. So it's just man, I'm out of word. And when I see these things, I'm like, damn, wow, Muzungu got us, man. So now you understand why we understand more and more why Africa is being treated the way it's being treated, because we have a huge potential. The potential is there, the brain are there, but we are not just let and allow to express and to freely, right, let that power manifest, right? So they want to keep that power dormant. They want to tell black people that they're only good at music, dancing, and sport, right? But look at what the ancestors have done over here. This is beyond music, sport, and dancing. Wow. And today it's being used currently into computers. It's called the 4-bit register, common bus. The principle here is 100% taken from here. How such a primitive people, they call us primitive hunter-gatherers, were multiplexing. Right? They were doing multiplexing. And then at the end, they generated the 16 sign by moving these single bar, double bar around. Right? They do more than this, guys. We did Bamana. We already had a Babalao here. It was awesome. We had another one yesterday. Well, we haven't had a Bamana priest yet, right? And they are really reserved when it comes to the Bamana. Even though they already taught some stuff to this dude, right? Who got initiated. And look at that. He comes back and then he writes article. He puts the information out, and then he goes to the TED show, right? And then he's talking about how Google, right, basically used that information, right? So he's not the first one to know about the Bamana. They knew about the Bamana hundreds of thousands of years ago. So it's not just when he went to the Bamana that they were able to do this, because this was practiced in Europe during the time of the Renaissance, right? Geomancy reached its highest during the Renaissance in Europe, and they already do this. So this guy want to make it sound like, oh, it's just recently that we learned about it. No, they knew about the Bamana a long time ago, right? Because Leibniz and Bully are going to take that information to create the Boolean algebra and also the binary system by changing the single bar into a 1 and the double bar into a 0. Yep. Right. Now, so let's quickly just present on this example. This is just an example, right? Just to show the level, the use of these sign that we have in African divination, right? So, for example, this is just an example: storing and fetching a floating point decimal number in the 4004 RAM, right? Random access memory. This is the number here, for example, right? Plus 0.13 blah 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 all the way times 10 to the negative 59. So in your computer, it's not, this information here is not going to look like that. It's going to be binary. You see here, this is the sign, right? This is the sign here. This is the positive sign. This is the negative sign. Because you see how behind a specific 4-bit number, they assign what they want it to be. It's not like they use Oyeku and because Oyeku tells a story, right? Oyeku tells a story. There's a story behind Oyeku, but they didn't give a damn about that. They just said, you know what, we're gonna make this one a positive entry, right, for a number. Whether the number is positive, we're gonna use 4 zeros to represent, right, to say that the number is positive. We're gonna use 30 and the 1 at the end, right, 0001, to say that if the number is negative in the machine, we're gonna put 30 and the 1. This is gonna play the role of negative. This is gonna be positive, right? In binary, this is 0 and this one is what is 1, right? So this is positive 0, negative is going to be 1 in the computer, in the memory, right? Now, the exponent value 59, you see the 59 here, this 59 right there. What are they doing with it? They break it down into binary. Again, everything must be broken down into binary. So basically, there's no way they could have done this without using the sign and the symbol of our ancestor. You see how this is the basic of computer science? There's no computer science without the binary. And the first people to come up with the binary system is African people, it's black people. We mastered it, we were using it for thousands of years before computer science even came in the picture. So 9, 5, right? This is your 9 right there. How? This is 1 times 2 to the power of 0 plus 0 times 2 to the power of 1 plus 1 times 2 to the power of 2 plus 0 times 2 to the power of 3. So here we have 0, 0 here. This one is a 1, right? This one is a 4, right? 2 to the power of 2 is 4. Plus this one here, you got your 5, right? Now, 9, right? 9 is this one. 2 to the power of 0 is 1. The remaining is 0. This is 2 to the power of 0, 1, 2, 3. 2 to the power of 3 is what? 8. 8 plus 1, 9. Your 59 is right here. Right? Now, you have 13729. Basically, 13729 and so on needs to be broken down into a 4-bit binary number. Right there. 1 is just the 1 here. 3 is that. Right? This is 1 plus 2, 3. 1 plus 2, 3. plus 4, 7. This is 2, right? This is 9. This is another 9. This is 1 plus 8, right? So, and then I'm going to show how we get that. There's a formula for it, right? So let me just put the formula over here so we can keep up together here. So I got the formula somewhere here. Let me just copy and paste it so that, you know, people actually learn something, right? How to convert a binary number into decimal and vice versa, right? It's very simple, guys. There's no need to have a degree over here. There's no need to have a PhD over here. We don't care about all those degrees. We just know that we have the potential, we have the power, right, to understand and to be able to do whatever we want to do. That's our state of mind, right? It's just a matter of setting yourself up, you know, for success and to just willing to learn. That's it, right? That's it. Now, let me grab, this is slide 13. Let me quickly grab the equation here. I already have set it up. And then I'm going to just type it. I can use this or this model. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to just give the formula here easily. Let me look into this. This is E5, should be here. Right. And then let me just quickly take that over here. All right, so let's just grab, I'm trying to grab the best one, quicker, easier, so I can give the formula. Okay, so let's take this one. So we're gonna quickly just do it here, and then I'm gonna copy that and take it to the other side. So power of 2, right? Power of 2. Basically, we're gonna do. We're gonna take this, and this is going to improve the quality of the slide, right? So once we start putting and cleaning up this up, guys. People again are attacking my slides, man. People are back again attacking the quality of the slide, you know. So I've been getting messages, you know, like, yo, you have too many this on the screen. It looks messy. We don't know what you're talking about. You know, things like that. And I said, yes, I know. You know, we're all here to improve. So we have to start from something, and then over the time, it's going to improve. Let's do 0, 1, 2, 3. I need to start with a 3. Right? Let me do. Why is it not 2 to the power of 3? Copy. Let me just paste that here. Not this format, not that one. Okay, so let me just take this one, copy. And then let's go back to 13. Was it 13? So yeah, that was here. Yeah, this slide here. Now let me paste this here. Let me move that up here. And then we can work on this here. No. Alright, let's just move this one here. So the rule, a given number, right? If you have a given number, you just have to, a 4-bit number, and this is going to apply for all the sign, even the Urdu, everything we're going to be doing, right? So you're going to have a number, we can say n, right? N, and the given number is going to be equal to, right, the coefficient. Let's say you have n equal to, we can say digits, we can say digits, we can say A, B, C, D, and that number is going to be equal to A. So A, B, C, D is the digits. It's between 0 and 1, right? The A, B, C, D, right? So it's going to be A times, right? A times 2 instead of X. The X is going to be the 2, right? It's going to be the 2 to the power of 3, right there, right? Plus B, right, times 2 to the power of right. Wow, thank you, May 5050, man, the sister, man, thank you so much. And every time she's here, May, you were not allowed to send any gift anymore, man. You are stubborn. Now, 1, right, 2 to the power of 1. And this is going to be A, B, C, right? C times. All right, there. We almost done. All right. C times. Yeah, the spacing over here is a little bit off, so I'm going to say C times, anyway, right, to the power of 3, 2, 1. Yep. And then last one, plus two, right, two to the power of 0. And then it's going to be C times. So, by applying this formula to any number down here, right, a given number, A, B, C, D, which is a combination of zeros and ones. So A, B, C, D are just zeros and ones, right? You take the first digit, you multiply by 2 to the power of 3. This is 8, 2 to the power, and then you take B, you multiply by 2 to the power of 2, plus C, right? The third digits, 2 to the power of 1, plus C times 2 to the power of 0. Bam. For example, let's apply this rule, right? Let's apply that formula with this number here, right? 0, 1, 1, 0. 0, 1, 1, 0. So we're going to have 0 for A, 1, 1, 0. right? The 0 and the 1 are the ABCD, the coefficient. So the first one is a 0. It's going to be 0 times 2 to the power of 3. Any number multiplied by 0 is a 0, right? Next one, B. B is 1, right? 1 times 2 to the power of 2. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. We got 4 over here. Plus C. C is 1. 1 times 2 to the power of 1. We have 2 over here, right? So this is 2 here. And then the last one, 0. So 0 times 2 to the power of 0. Any number multiplied by 0 is a 0. So basically we have the first and the fourth are 0. This and that are 0. We are left with this one. So this is 4 and 2, 6, right there. Right? So we have the formula here. So going forward, we know how we're converting, right, the decimal into binary, or the binary into decimal. We just apply, right, this rule here. Crystal clear. You see, it's not complicated. It's not complicated at all. So basically in your computer, right, in your computer, what they are doing is they're using these, right, binary 4-bit number to store the number, right, to store the number. The 4002 RAM has 4 register. The 4002 RAM random access memory has 4 register. The Bamana always started with 4 register. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Bamana always started with 4 register. Is that a coincidence that in the 4002 RAM random access memory they have 4 register? And then in the Bamana, the so-called divination system, they start with 4 register. Yo, it's not a coincidence, y'all. They carefully study and analyze what the Bamana people, the African people, were doing. They copy even the number of register for this specific 4002 random access memory. So you see here, the ancestors are basically breaking down step by step what is going on in a random access memory. They calling it random access or pseudo-random, but our ancestor always got the solution to their problem, even though it seems like they randomly draw in the sand. This is why the Muzungu is lost, and even till today Muzungu does not understand this. According to Muzungu, this year is totally random, right? Now, here's where the problem is. If this is totally random, but the solution to the problem, right, is found or identified, can we say that it's really random? Let's say you start randomly making lines and drawing into something, but you always, for some reason, you always end up with the solution to the problem. No matter what it is, you always have a solution for it, even though you were just like, it seems to be random. So according to the fact that the output always brings solution to the problem, something makes me think that the randomness is not there. So there is a rule, there is a law that governed whatever, no matter how quick or fast or slow you're doing it, whatever they come up with, they end up to a solution. So there's something. That's the something we're looking for, right? There's a rule, there's a law, and that's why we've been studying, right, the nature spirit, which are nothing other than the force of nature. So when we say nature spirit here, people think about this spirit or demons. No, nature spirits are natural occurring phenomena. The air is nature spirit. I breathe the air. We need air and oxygen to survive. We need oxygen. The brain needs oxygen. Our cell needs oxygen. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to. I no longer need oxygen because you think that oxygen or air being a nature spirit is a demon, then we all have demons if you say that air or nature spirit are demons, right? So the wind, the rain, the lightning strike, all those things are nature spirits, right? So I want to make sure, I want to just make clear what I understand and what I'm saying here when it comes to nature spirit. I'm not talking about, you know, someone sitting on a throne somewhere in the sky with wings, or no, I'm talking about natural occurring phenomena, forces around us, right? That's what we mean by nature spirits in the Vinda. Right? So then this process, this number is broken down further, and this is actually what goes right in the machine language. So this number ends up being coded specifically, right, in the random access memory. Now, what we are trying to understand, what we are trying to do here is, number one, to understand what the ancestor have been doing. They have coded 256 Odu, right? And thank you to the sister in the group, man. They are amazing. They got it. They got it. They done it quickly and swiftly. I am amazed, man. Right? And I'm just amazed, right? So we got it here. So going forward, when teaching the younger one, we have clear, clean cut format, evidence, and even in Yoruba names of the so-called ASCII number. These are ASCII number. All of these are ASCII number. These are ASCII number, y'all. The ASCII number you have on your computer. So they basically took something like this one, Oyekumeji. They said it's going to represent a zero in the computer, right? Space, capital A, capital B, lowercase a, lowercase b, the hashtag sign, the arrow, the at sign, the dollar sign, right? All of them are here, those characters, and you can combine 4-bit number in order to generate a word or a character, right? By putting those characters all together, then you have a better way to represent and to express a message in the memory of your cell phone or your computer. So let's say Ogbe Owari, if you type that in your in the SMS chat of your phone and you transmit it, right, what is being stored in the memory of your phone is not OGBE Owari like you see here. No, it's going to be a 4-bit, right? It's going to be a 8-bit digit here. 8 for this one, 8 for O, 8 for B, 8 for G, 8 for B, 8 for E, 8 for O, and so on. So every single letter here is going to be represented into a 8-bit number called Odu, right? And then it's going to be stored, and that's what is going to be transmitted. It is also converted into hexadecimal, right? And for the purpose of Modbus communication and things like that. And this is actually what is being transmitted. So when you send an SMS to someone, you type this, right, in your phone, but this is not what is being stored and sent. It's being converted. Drag the puzzle. TikTok, man. Now they're asking me to complete the puzzle. Wow. You see, they have restricted our life again, as always, right? They have done that. They don't like what we're doing, right? So we have the ASCII code here. All 256 ASCII code here found in African spirituality. The Yoruba Ifa has the 256 sign that we have in computer. There will be no computer without the ASCII sign, the ASCII code. There will be no computer without the 16 primordial sign, the 4-bit number. We have it in a number of 16, right? So there's no computer without this. So basically there's no computer without the knowledge of African people. Without the knowledge of our ancestor, there will be no computer. And I drop a video, right, in which I mentioned that we now have all the evidence to come up with a lawsuit and ask for any Chinese product, anything, any electronic in the world, right, running any software, they need to pay Africa back, because that's the knowledge of our ancestor. That's our knowledge, right? And they took the knowledge of our ancestor and converted it into zeros and one. This is the double bar. The double bar, right, is a 0. The single bar is a 1. Bam! They converted and they got this. Our ancestors already have this. And this is what they've been using. They had multiplexers. I showed the multiplexers, right? So, and it is amazing. And it is also sad at the same time to see that here. Being at the base of computer science. We have everything to show, and we possibly have even more, but I think we have at least the minimum to make a case. And that Bravo said that's our birthright. In Yoruba, Ifa is considered as our inheritance. Yeah, right? And unfortunately, they took that inheritance, right, to this level, right? But they would have never been able to do that if it wasn't for that. So basically, and also that's Ifa. With the Bamana, it's even beyond this. Look at that. The Bamana are moving around multiplexers, y'all. They are moving around those are mux. Those are multiplexers. The way they be moving this is how, right? They've been moving this like that in computers. That's what they do here. They take all the first one here. You see, you take all the first row, right? You form the first column. You take all the second row. You form the second column. Look at that. You take all the zeros, right? And you form the first row. All the zeros here. A0, B0. You take the first one. Then you take all the second one, right? A1, B1, C1, D1, and then A2, right? B2, C2, D2, and then the last one, A3, B3, C3, and D3, right there. That's exactly what the ancestors were manipulating here. That's what they did. And I can't believe that. Now, let me do this duplicate. Now, what we need to do next, right? Let me delete this. The divination using the palm nut, the manipulation of the palm nut. We need to come up with a block diagram, right? And I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start it based on what Babalao has explained. He clarified something amazing, right? Let me bring something here. Let me bring control 5. This is slide 14. Right. Let me bring something here. It's not that. Let me do next. So it should be here. Let me do next. Next. Let me grab this here. There you go. Now, this in red here is the pattern, right? It's the pattern made in the tray when Babalawo is writing down numbers, guys. The weaving, the weaving is no joke. When Baba is writing numbers down in the tray, he goes like this. The first series of single bar, double bar is here. The second one is here. The third one is here. The fourth one goes here. The fifth one here. The sixth one here. The seventh one here. And the last one. Bam. What is he drawing? The up and down, y'all. The up and down. I cannot believe this pattern. Damn. That's what he does in the tray. So he's drawing the signal of the Kalunga River. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. I'm like, damn, this is, I don't know. I don't have words. I don't have words, man. I don't know. Man. Let me bring the Vida here. Let me bring that here so people understand what we mean by this. Look at that. And I have been doing my best, and I know they are prerequisite, right? That's why you will see sometimes I will speak about something and I will stop talking about it, because I feel like there is a prerequisite, and not until we have gone over the prerequisite I will not be going back to it, or I can just talk briefly about it, because if the prerequisite is not fulfilled, then talking about it would be basically a waste of time, right? So you remember we were trying to understand the forces or the rule or the law, because Babalao, the obtention of whether he has one dot or two dot left in the hand, right, is done basically by the forces, the nature spirit participate into leaving a single dot or two dot in the hand. That's the part we need to dig into, because the Muzungu don't want to deal with that. So Muzungu cannot understand that. He doesn't want to deal with that, right? Because what is the rule or the law that allows the carry to be open or closed at a given time? What is the rule or law that decide and dictates whether it's going to be one or two dots left in the right, in the left hands? Those are very good questions we have to answer. And I have been working on that for the past 2 years. And I think we're going to need the help of the Babalaos. But based on my experience, two Babalao already told me, we cannot tell you that here. One told me I'm not supposed to know it. I was like, damn, what the hell is that? But they were impressed and amazed by what I have already. Babalao were impressed, and they were not expecting, right, that we got to this level yet, right? So that means that we're doing amazing to see not just one Babalao, not just two, but multiple, right? Basically say, wow, what we know here is basically it would take 10 or 15 years for a Babalao to know, right? So because they are trained during their whole lifetime. You see, Babalao said he was born in Ifa, right? He started doing Ifa since he was like, yeah, right, around, and he was able to listen and to learn. That's when he started, right? So Baba is writing the number on the tray. but he follow a very specific, right, a very specific pattern or a scheme, right? And I find this very amazing because this up and down, right, is what we call the weaving process. This up and down is the representation of electromagnetic force, electromagnetic radiation. So basically, this is the shape or the pattern of indivisible force. Oh, the shape or the representation of the invisible force. So he draws and he makes the pattern of the invisible force. We define it, the up and down, right there. Mother Goddess Dada weaving quantum particles into matter. You see the weaving here? Look at that. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Is this a coincidence with what Baba is drawing in the tray? Hell no. Oh, hell no. Let me isolate this so people see what is in the background, right? So this is the pattern, right? This is it, right? Without the zigzag. So when he perform first trial, he writes the result here. The second trial result is here. The third is here. The fourth is here. The fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth. 2, 4, 6, 8. 1, 3, 5, 7. It follow a very specific pattern. Let me reload my coffee, guys. I need to reload. It was too hot. Now, why am I stressing a little bit on this? To show the evidence of the weaving, right? The weaving process is a sort of tapping into, right? It's the symbol of the invisible force. It's electromagnetic force. So now someone is going to say, oh, Potolo, you're talking about things that we don't see. Yeah, okay. In physics, we have gravity, right? Do you see gravity? Electromagnetic radiation. Do you see that? Electromagnetic force. Do we see that? No. So I'm referring to that. The closest example, something that will match what I'm talking about here, will be electromagnetic force. And we studied this, right? We studied this right here. The weaving, the up and down, it's not just the end sound, right? If you break down the onk, right? The onk, and right? It has the end sound, we are told. But this is more than just the end sound, y'all. This is electromagnetic force, electromagnetic radiation. If you are learning the Menuda chair from a hieroglyphic dictionary or translation, just the translation of the glyph, you may not be able to understand the scientific aspect of the glyph. Every single Menuda chair has a scientific aspect onto it. It's purely scientific because it's connected to nature, and nature is science, right? Nature is science. So the glyph here represent, right, the forces of nature. You see that? So here we have the zigzag up, down, up, down, up, down. It looked like a seesaw. And then this is the glyph here. This glyph alone already tells the whole story. This glyph is the weaving pattern when you are putting fabrics together or you are weaving a clothes, right? You have to do this. This pattern is the most common. Yes, in order to put two sheet or two pieces together, you have to do exactly this pattern here multiple times. You do it this way, you take it backward, and then you can add, right, a little bit more. So basically it's doing that right there. You see what I mean? Now, this here represent a signal, because the reason why I'm stressing on this is because it's going to help understand what I've been trying to explain for a long, long time, right? When it comes to tapping into the forces of nature, the Vinda, we are told, is the forest where nature spirit dwell, where the ancestor spirit dwell. And we see here that the Vinda is the area the Mungoma, Sangoma, Babalawo, Bamana priest tap into in order to extract the information, right? Because these numbers needs to be originating from who? From Ifa. Ifa is the one that needs to bring the number to the table, right? So we see the frequency here. Yes, Baba, welcome to the panel. You have an echo. You echoing. Yeah, mute and unmute. Yeah, go ahead.
Greetings to everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, good
Uh,
afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Grand rising, Baba. How are you?
I'm good. I'm listening to your question now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So
I'm
yeah,
listening.
so that's what we've been trying to find out a little bit. Maybe you have explained this a little bit last time. So saying that Ifa is the one that leaves one or two in the hand, in the left hand. So and you have understood what I just say that here again. So I will just let you make some comment on that. Yeah, go ahead, Baba.
About IFA, right? Hello.
Yeah, can you repeat that again?
I said you said I should explain about IFA, right?
Yeah, so we wanted to understand the what is it that command one nut or two nut to be left in the hand or the opener to be open or closed, uh you know and
Uh,
then yeah, go ahead.
hello. When it remains two, when it remains two, we press one. You understand?
Yeah.
Which means if it is in open leg, that means that specific place is closed.
Okay.
You understand? So if it remain one, you press two, so that means the place is
Okay.
if it remain one, you press two in open leg. That means that particular place is closed. When it
Yes.
remains two, you press one.
Yes. Yes. We
That
on we
means
on
that particular place in
Yeah.
open leg. That means it's open.
Right. So let me move
Okay.
this up. Let me move.
Uh-huh. So
So
when it remains three, four, and or three, two, three, three, four upward, we start over again. When it remains nothing, we start over again. So we are not pressing anything by then.
okay. Yes. We have written that down, right? So it's right here. we recorded this previously, and you confirmed it. So, and then this is what you mentioned a few days ago, right? You put eight in the right hand and eight in the left hand. If it remains, then you mix. I skipped the section here. Then you take the right and you put into the left, so you have 16, and then you start grabbing right quickly. If it remains one, you press double. If it remains one, and then if it remains two, you press one, right? You press one, and uh, and then the 16 of Olufe complete. The one on the right is mixed with those in the left. Babalawo grabs the nuts from the left hand, and Ifa keeps some in the left hand. So you said that Ifa is the one that keeps some in the left hand. Now, I'm focusing on this part here, with the part that Ifa keeps some in the left hand. Uh, what is the how does okay, this is the question I have been asked. We need to understand the rule or the law that basically dictates or command the obtention of whether it is one left in the hand or two in the hands. How does that force manifest? Do you have to prepare for that in order to have Ifa doing that, right? Leaving those one or two in the hand. What is the connection here? Or do you have to tap to make that sound with the Iroke? Or how do you enter in the presence, or how do you summon Ifa, Oshun, or Rumila? How do you summon them to be there?
When we're speaking to Ifa, speaking to any Odisha, and speaking Iroke, this means we are making the connection of that priest and an ancestors together to for them to grant what he or she is saying. Okay,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So that is so for this thing. Let me for an ancestor to grant our prayer. So that is why. So that's the importance of okay.
Okay. So, if you can just repeat in few words, because sometimes it is when the sound goes away.
Wait,
And let me mute.
maybe
Okay, let me
you
mute.
know what? Let me
Yeah.
explain to you on. You know what? Let me explain to you on Telegram. Okay,
Okay.
so I
Yes.
will send
Okay.
you
Yeah.
voice on
That's
Telegram.
better.
So you can
Yeah. You will
understand.
explain in the telegram, and then
Uh,
we gonna record it, and then we gonna explain better. Yeah. That works. Okay. Okay. Okay,
okay.
Baba. Do what you gotta do. I see you are in the market. So yeah, do your stuff, and then we can yeah, we gonna meet later, and we're gonna break it down. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
You
Baba.
know,
Okay,
you
Baba.
need to send video to yes.
Yes, we're gonna
Okay.
we are going to arrange something. She Matters is going to plan for something on the Telegram. Yep. Okay. So Baba is in the market. You see, it's noisy. The network is not good. So, but we are getting our question answered, right? So let me bring this one back here, right? Right here. Now, Baba is doing something right there. And what he is doing there by writing, following this pattern, I mean, it must be this way, right? First, second, third, and so on. But I find this amazing. You have 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, right? And then here we have the beginning of something that resembles what? The pin. The pin. The pin of what? The pin of those microprocessor, right? The pin number, because those pins, right? Let me bring it here. Hold on. Right? We see something that start to resemble the pins. Right? Because he follows a specific order, right? And he follows a specific pattern. So he has a very specific order and arrangement on how the bit, right? How the bit flows and are organized within the system. We want to make sure we understand this because we want to keep our hours original. We don't want to just copy and paste the Muzungu. No, we need to get to the bottom of it, and then we need to see how the bit are moved and how they are arranged when in the process of generating a sign, because this is going to end up into a set of two sign, right? One bit here, bit here. So it's going to be 8-bit number. It's going to be an octet. So he's going to end up with 8-bit here, right? 8-bit over here. But how does it work? Trial number 1, he write it here. So this is going to be a matrix, right? He's going to print. We're going to call this print sign. And the printing of the sign must follow this arrangement here. Test number 1, you put the result here, right? Test number 2. So we need to create a matrix, right? A 2 by 4 matrix. A 2 by 4 matrix with 8 houses or 8 spot, right? We can quickly just add it here, right? So something like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And then we insert a table. We just insert a table here, right? We can do table, and then we can do the border right there, right? So, oh, you know what? Let's not do that here because I need that to be smaller. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just create a new tab. I don't want to mess around with what the system have done here. So let me just do, I have a sheet here. Yeah. So I could just do it somewhere over here. Let's just add a new tab, right? So right there. So we're gonna do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? We are going to insert a table of 2 by 4, right? A 2 by 4. So we can do that and we can do that, right? So this is going to be, for example, this is going to be S1 or S0, right? This is going to be S1. And this is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And we can do fill in, right? So, but he has 4, right? Yeah, he has 4. So we're gonna do, yeah, I need 2. What did I say? 2 by 4, right? 2 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 2 by 4. So I need 4.8. So let's go back here. One, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And then we insert the table, and then let's do the border, right? Then here we have, we can say position P, P0 or P1, and then here P0, right? And then here we can do, actually let's do S and P, SP. And then here we're gonna do, we can do A, B, C, D. So when he does the test, right? Test number one is gonna be test number one is gonna be at position, right? P A. Position PA. That's number one, right? That will be our one. We can do one like that. Test number two is going to be, right, SA, right? SA. This is position number two. Then this is position number three over here, right? So when I put the one and the two there, it looks like I'm doing minus, right? It can be confusing. So we're gonna do let's do S0, right? Let's just do S0, S1, S0, and then we can arrange this one a little bit better later. So this is going to be, let's call this one A, right? A0, A1, right? Right. So A2, A3. So this one is going to be, we can say A0, S0, just like that. This one is going to be A0, A0, S1, right? This one is going to be A1, S0, A1, S0, A1, S1. One, two, three, four, 5. So A2, S0, A2, S1, and then A3, S0, and then A3, S1, right? So this is our matrix. So Babalao, when he cast, right, and then we can do left, right, left hand, he start with 8, right, 8 dots. Right hand, right, 8 dots, right? Then he takes then he will take, where's the hole? But tab. Then he will take the right hand, and then he will bring the right hand all 8 from the right hand. He's gonna drop them, right, in the left hand, making it 16, right? So he's gonna go to 16, and then he's gonna start grabbing quickly. And then from here, he's gonna have 16 dots. And then from here, he's gonna grab quickly. He's gonna do a quick grab. So after quickly grabbing, the result goes here, right? First test, result go here, right? How can we do that? Yeah, we can just put the arrow here and say, okay. Now we're gonna say test 1. Test 1. The rule here is we can just put the rule, right? The rule of obtaining the numbers there. Rule is 1 dot left after the grab, after first grab. Gives a double stroke. It gives a double stroke, right? Two dot. Let's see here. Right. 2 dots left, right, gives a single stroke. Right? And we know the single stroke is nothing other than a 1. The double stroke is nothing other than the 0. Let's put that here. 0. Right? Like that. Now, if there is no nut left in the left hand, restart, right? So let's add here, if no nuts remaining in left hand, or more, or 3 or more nuts, then restart. Restart the process. So basically, at any given time, he must have 1 or 2 nuts left in the left hand. If he has no nuts left in the left hand, then he restart. If he has more than 3 or more in the left hand, then restart also, right? So it must always be 1 or 2 now. The 2 is the 0, the 1 is the 1, the single bar is the 1, right? So we got the rule here clearly. Now, test number 1. So A00 is the first test, right? This is test 1. This is test 2. I'm trying to see if we can have better end this here. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 1. If I put 1 here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Test number 1. Test number 2. All right. So for now, before we find the right pattern and the indices, we're gonna just say here, test. This is gonna be test 2, right? Let's increase that. This is gonna be test 1. This is gonna be, right? test 1. We start here. Test 3. Test 3. Test 4. Test 5. Test 6. Test 7. And test 8. So this is how he's going to end up with an 8-bit number. He's going to end up with 8-bit, right? And he's going to end up with a matrix, right? A 4x2 matrix, right? So he's going to have in here is going to be a bunch of, it can be 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. It will give Ogbemeji, or all 0. It will give Oyekumeji, right? This is how he generates the 8-bit number we've been having in this table here, right? So he's gonna be the different combination he can obtain, right? Or basically already we have a map for it. So how many ways or how many combination or possibility can we form using the single bar and double bar for an 8-bit number? Is 2 to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 8 is what? Right? 256. So there are 256 signs that can be obtained through this process here, right? So, and which is gonna look like each of these here, right? Or an 8-bit number, right? 4 and 4, 8, 4 and 4, 8, and so on, right? This is inspired from the 16th sign, right? That's good. Now, what we need to add here is a block diagram, right? We need to add a block diagram. We need to generate a block diagram. Basically, let me see here. I can duplicate this and then just delete this, right? So we can say insert, right? We can say, okay, this is going to be the left hand, right? Shape field, right? No fill, and then color, we can say outline, right? We can call this left, paste, right? Left hand, right hand, left hand here, right? And then we can draw carries. We're gonna put 8 here. We're gonna put 8 inside, right? And then we're gonna say, well, move the 8 carry, right, in here, right? Right. So we move the 8 carry in here. Then once we move it in here, then we get what? We get 16 in the left hand. So this becomes 16 in here, right? We have 16. So from here, we can take it to here. Then we're going to put 16 in here, right? 16. From here, we're going to say, well, start doing the grabbing randomly, right? It seems like it's going to be random, but we need to understand and break down the operation. What is it that make Baba to leave 1 or 2 dots behind, or to take all of it? Because it looks like, his body is basically commanded or something, or forces of nature are acting on his finger, right? So we need, yes, exactly. So if it is something we don't need, Baba is going to help explain it in private, and we're going to see, if it is needed. I think the Muzungu already tapped into it, right? So we put Then we end up with 16 in here. And then he start, taking, right, sub from the left back to the right. And then he look at what is left in the left, right? So we're going to say, then, right, we can do this, right? Then we have 16. Then we're going to add something here and say, in here, we're going to say quickly, right? Quickly take a random, it's not random, but we're going to say a random amount of dots out of the right, right? Right? Quickly takes a random amount out of the right, right? So we can do, we could just do this quickly, right? Right? Quickly grab, I don't want to use random, but that's the best word to explain that. Quickly grab random amount of nuts out of the 16, right? Nuts, oops, right? Then now this is where our matrix, right? Our this matrix, we can bring it here. This table, let's see how it's gonna look like. Let me copy that, and then we're gonna start printing, right? The printing is gonna be here. Let me see the formatting. I can use this. Yeah, let's just use this for now. We can adjust. Now, this is where the printing start, right? So if he has one left, write a double stroke, right? So we can also take this one, right? One left is a double stroke. This is our rule, right? We can take this rule here. We can import it here. Let's just put it here. So we need to model exactly what the Babalawo is doing. That's what our ancestors been doing in order to understand clearly what is going on and be able to hopefully maybe model something out of it. We don't want to copy and paste the Muzungu, right? We don't need that. We just need to get to the bottom of this. Now, the rule says in order to print the matrix or the register, right? It's basically those are registers, right? We got our rule over there. If one is left here, right? So write a double stroke for one dot, a single stroke for two dot left in the hand, right? So the printing starts here. So we can say test number one. What is going to be A0 S0 here is nothing other than either single bar or double bar, one dot or two dot left over here, right? Depending on what it is. Right? So we can say in here, we can, we can insert, right? Text box. We can say number of nuts left after the first grab and the subsequent one. So we can do, so I'm just showing an example here, and then we're going to continue this offline, right? We're going to continue this offline, right? And then we can say insert, right? If I can actually use the other one. Let's use this one, okay? Right, that one. Then we can say copy, paste. Now we can say in here we're gonna print, right? Print insert text box, insert text box, right? I'm gonna do print either right, double bar, right, or print a single bar. Copy, paste, or print a single bar, depending on how much you got left in that bucket. So we're gonna take this here, not that one. We're gonna take this, this one, and we're gonna drag it down here, right? So number of nut left when he does the quick grab, right? If he got you know, one left, double, print two, right? And this here is going to be, we can say insert text box, another one. We can say here right, one nut left, that one. And then two nut left. Print single bar, right? And I'm using 10. So if we can model step by step perfectly exactly what Babalawo does, it will be crystal clear, right? We will understand exactly better how the flow, we need to model this flow here, right? And then we're gonna get there. We already have most of the information, right? We have most of the information. So we understand exactly how the 8-bit number are generated using the nuts, right? It's just a matter of modeling that. And then from here, we're going to do a block diagram, right? Like a flow chart, right? So once we do that, bam, right, we're going to have the, you know, the scheme perfectly laid out. Now, you grab quickly, you print either one or two, and then once you do the printing, you come, you store it into the matrix, right? Into the buffer, into this table here, right? The printing goes here. This is test one. You print it here. It's going to be at position A0, S0. Test number two, you print it. Whatever comes out, you print it here, right? So test number three, test number four, test number five, test number six, right? They are all right here. Test number. All right, let's see here. Test. We can do that. Test number 2. Test number 1. Test number 3. Test number 4. Test number 5. Number 6. Number 7. And number 8. So what Babalao is doing in the ether tray, he is recording bits in the tray, right? And the process of grabbing, right, out of the left hand and looking at what is left remaining randomly basically generates bits number, and that bit is going to be represented into a table, right, into a 4x2 matrix, which is nothing other than the Odu, the Ifa Odu, right? The Odu are right here. So this is going to generate the Odu sign, right? And then they have verses behind every single Odu has a verse, right? So, but we clearly see a little bit the idea based on the explanation, right? We can clearly, easily explain this, right? So this is good. This is good for educational purpose only, right? This is a good start. So if I do insert text, so this is the left hand. You start with 8 knots in left hand, right? I need 10, and then 8 knots in right hand. Right? Bam. There is a potential to actually increase that into a 16-bit instead of the 8-bit, right? But anyway, let's not get there. Let's just, this is exactly, right, the flow of what Baba Lao is doing. He's generating Odus. He's generating 8-bit number, but they follow a very specific pattern. The first printing, test number 1, right? This is print, right? The first print, right? The second print, the third print, right? And so on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome, right? So once he generates this, he's trained to interpret the verse or the narrative behind the Odu, right? Behind the Odu. So this is a good start, right? And then this is the process with the nut. So we can actually add here, this is insert text. We can say we can say 16, the 16 nuts manipulation into generating Odus, right? And then we have a total of 256 Odu, right? So right there, and we can highlight that so we know exactly what this slide is about, right? Right there. And then we can make it 14. There you go, right there, right? So this is good. This is a good start, and then we're gonna continue that offline, and then we're gonna see once we have modeled this, we need to come up with a block diagram, a flow chart, right? because these people, like I said earlier, right? So we need to basically show that also. The multiplexing system that I showed with the Bamana, they've been using heavily the Bamana multiplexing, right? The multiplexers that you see and you heard in computer science electronics, our ancestor master the multiplexers. Yes, right? So this should be into 15. Oh, I need to get the slide. Let me put the slide in the same spot with the others, so we have things in the same place. So I need to grab this slide. I need to grab this slide, right? Let me copy that. And let's go to slide 16, 15, right? Right here. Paste. Now, this is the Bamana. What you see or what you learn in computer science still being used today. The 4-bit register in the common bus system is 100% purely the process of the Bamana. Right there. You start with 4 register. The Bamana start with 4 register. They do this in the sand 4 times, generating 4 numbers. The process is here. Maybe when I'm saying it, since the resolution is too small, people may not be able to see that, right? Look at that. 4 sets of random dashes are drawn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of the dashes are paired and the odd or even result recorded. Right? Odd, single, even, double, odd, single, right? And then here you have even. You do this 4 times. The process is repeated 4 times. The 4-bit register in the common bus system start also with 4 register. Register A, B, C, and D. That's not all. Someone can say, oh, it was just a coincidence. You know, things happen. You know, sometimes we do the same thing, but it's not related. Okay, fine. Going forward, next step. If someone tells me that this again here, what I'm about to show is a coincidence, I would say, you must have lost your mind. Look, these are your 4 register. Register A, right? Register A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, right? Each of these have what? 4-bit number, right? They have 4 bits, 4 position. Look at that. They have 4 position. Position 1, 2, 3, 4. They started the numbering at 0. Position A0, A1, A2, A3. These are 4 bits. Exactly like this one. 4 position of 4 register. Now, the next one. The next set of 4 are generated from the first 4. So you take the 4 registers and you rearrange the bits. That's what multiplexer stands for, right? It takes bits in and it rearranges them following a specific rule or law. That's the rule or law we are looking for in IFA. There is a rule, but Muzungu do not know what it is, right? But moving forward, the multiplexers, the first multiplexer over here takes what? All the first number of every set of 4 here. For example, look at this. He will take A0 here in the first register and then come in the second register and take the B0. He will take the first position of each register to form a new 4-bit. And then the next mux is going to take the second position, position 1 here, A1, position 1 here, B1, position 1 here, C1, position 1 here, D1. Bam. And then the next box takes the position 2. Position 2, A2, right there. Position 2, B, register B2, right there. Position 2, register C, C2 right there, right? Position 2, register D, D2 right there. What they just did over here is exactly what the Bamana people have been doing for thousands of years. They started with 4 register. The next 4 are done doing what? Multiplexing. We have the multiplexer, y'all. They've been applying the multiplexing into getting the next 4 signs, right? And then they're going to do the parity check, right? They're going to be adding the parities, the parity calculation, you know, even and odd give you odd, right? Odd and odd give you even, right? Odd and even give you odd, and so on. Odd and even give you odd. And then that's how they're going to get the following one. This one alone is this level here, right? And we can generate our own following what our ancestor, the Bamana, have been doing, right? And see exactly how it will connect, or maybe connect to the nuts of the Ifa, right? But for now, we want to be modeling the process of the Ifa, Bamana, Shona, Bavenda. We want to model the obtention of the 16th sign, or the obtention of the Odu, the octet, the 8-bit position. We want to model first and see the flow and the obtention, the process of obtaining those signs. Because behind the sign, there are verses, and they're going to use those verses in order to interpret based on the problem that was submitted. More importantly, we need to be able to understand also the flow, the rule or the law that dictates whether one nut is going to be left in the left hand. Why and when one is left, 2 nut is left, or 0 nut is left. Or maybe he grabs a random quantity. Instead of 1 or 2, he actually has 3 left, 4 left, 5 left, 6 left, right? Those are possibility, right? So when, where, how, what dictates the obtention of those nuts, right? And then Baba was here earlier on the panel. He was explaining, but he was in the market. He was too noisy, and the connection was not good. So I'm going to continue. We are going to continue in the Telegram with him, so he can explain, calmly, clearly, so we can understand. Now, in mathematics, we know about what we call a complex number. What is a complex number? A complex number is a number that is complex. In what way? It is complex because it comes with an invisible part. Yeah, it is a number. This is mathematics. They have the concept of visible and invisible part. But people are not asking questions like, how come it is invisible and imaginary, but we're talking about it if we don't see it? Yeah, because we're getting into quantum, right? Into quantum. We want to deal with the things that we don't see, right? It's not because we don't see that it does not exist, right? It is there. You don't see air, but air is there, and we need it, right? You don't see the photon with the naked eye, but the photon are there. Those are electromagnetic radiation carrier. They transport that energy from the sun through the photon. You don't see them, but they are there. So anything in nature has a physical part and an imaginary part. Just like we have the physical realm and the spiritual realm. But the two mingle in the Finta or Ita Urun So Baba is tapping into the invisible realm of the nature spirit in order to extract the combination or the remaining knots, whether it's going to be 1 knot, 2 knot, 3 knot, or 4 knot remaining in the left hand. He's basically in synchronized with the nature spirit, because it's Ifa that does the leftover of 1 or 2 or 3 or repeat or start over, right? So there is kind of like a counter, a clock driven, that is behind the scene or in nature that is basically acting on that. So we want to get to the bottom of that, right? Because we want to have to define our operator, right? If we know when and how to combine or to pair up two signs at a given time, right? Then it will help us to understand better, right? How the pairing of this sign are obtained, and when is it obtained, and when is it time to, for example, when is it, right? What does Obara Osa correspond to? When, how, why, and what is it behind it, right? What is the purpose of that? So, and then if we understand that, then we can create our own matrix with our own understanding of that, or make use of what we already have here. But the thing is, behind each specific Odu here, there is a verse. We cannot change the verse. If we are using Oyeku Ose, it has to be Oyeku Ose. We cannot change it because we're using the same name, and we cannot give it a different meaning. We can use this and give it a different meaning, which is what the Buzugu has done here. Buzugu took this and he gave different meaning to it, creating his own virtual sphere or platform. Yeah, this is basically AI. This is basically, man, we are getting into, but I love this. I love this. I love this. We need to model these processes for educational purpose as well. When we will be, sharing the information. What happened here? When sharing the information with the younger one. What did I do? Let me see here. Okay, so it came out of, let me paste this again. Okay, that's good. That's what we wanted. So, I got more stuff here. And I haven't even touched it yet. I have not touched that yet. Let's see. I got more stuff for you guys, but I don't just know if we're gonna get to all of it. Let me see here. No, not that. So I did some downloading yesterday of some pretty good, interesting sources, right? Explaining. So let me just quickly, let's see here. Let me just show the mind-blowing evidences of our knowledge built into these chips here, right there, man. It is just beyond imagination. It is, I'm just like out of word. I'm like, wow. So they basically copied. Okay, so what you see here, right? Look at that. What you see here is basically, you see how they have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 position. You see that? And they mark it with what? X, 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 X. So it can be either 0 or 1, right? You start with that. This is basically the input of what? The input register that we have defined when we were presenting on the slide of the microprocessor, right? So this is what? This is the Opele, the chain. Our divination chain has 8 calories. and each carries can be open or closed. Each of these X can take on either the 0 or the 1 value. It can be 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So basically, this D0 to D3 input here, right, is basically the chain. And then when it's going to be thrown, right, whether depending on if it is open or closed, it's going to become a 1 or a 0 or a 0 and 1, right? So you see here where X either a 0 or a 1. Where X equal either 0 or a 1. This is our chain. This is the chain right there, right? Look at our registers. The register addressing. You remember yesterday, and I dropped a video on this, right? We were breaking down and presenting on the evidence of the microprocessor. Our ancestor had the knowledge of the microprocessors, right? They did not just call it microprocessor, but they were performing, they were doing it manually. This is the Intel 4004, the very early first Intel 4004 here. And we have presented on this section here in the green rectangle. It's called register multiplexer. Well, we have it here, right? So it's basically right here from 0 through 15. Single register addressing. So we're going to model ours, and we don't necessarily have to copy this. We just want to follow what Babalawo is saying, right? Or what the Bamana priest is going to be saying. We want to follow the same trend and the same scheme of what they're doing, right? And then you see the pairing, the multiplexing by pairing, right? The first and the second, right? You end up here with what? A 2 by 4 matrix. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? 8 times 2, 16. Right? Now, these people, man, I can't believe, man, I don't know. Right? Everything here is based on the 8-bit, on the Odu. Look at the length of the bit, 8. Right? Our ancestors been mastering this even before they got to this level here. They started with 4. So matter of fact, right? Let's look at where is it? This is the definition of the register digital Intel. Microsoft. And then let's look at this one. And where is that wiki? I think it's called wiki. Wiktionary. What is that? Wiktionary. Okay, so multiplexer, register multiplexer. Let's just do that. And let's look at Wiktionary multiplexer. Oh, it's an Intel 4004. Okay. 4004. When it first came out. And anyway, I have the screenshot here. Let me just go to the screenshot. So let's go here. So I have more information on this one just to confirm what we've been saying, right? We right on point, right? Uh, so right, so let's see here. Uh, let's look at the 4-bit. So, anyways, what I was trying to show is the Intel 4004 we've been presenting on, right? This one right here is basically designed. They copy the principle of generating the multiplexers in the Bamana system, the Bamana of the Mende, right? Mali in the SLAIENT divination system. They copy exactly and they model the Intel 4004 out of it, right? Out of it. They did not even leave a dime, like a single thing behind. They copy everything. They got everything out of it, basically. So let's see. Yeah. So we got work to do, right, in the background, right? Block diagram, flow chart, just to see how Baba, we need to listen from the explanation Baba was trying to share with us earlier, right? So we need to get that, right? And also this information that he confirmed over here is going to help me, right, explain further and make the connection between, because no matter what, regardless, there is nature spirit, Ifa, right, that interact in the process, right? But Muzungu would tell you, no, 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 we don't want to, there's nothing there, blah, 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 and so on. But the fact that people are getting the solution to that problem, though, and can we come up with a model similar to it that can help make, some type of prediction? Or even like I said, guys, I don't really care if they stay here, because the ancestor were capable of doing amazing things with these, right? So we just want to make sure that we stay on point with what they were doing exactly. That's why we cannot guess, we cannot assume, right? Every step of the way must be understood, and we should be able to explain to others, because our the younger generation, we will need to pass them down the information, right, of what the ancestors were doing, right, so they don't have to start from scratch, right? So but so far we are on a good track. We're doing awesome, right, by gathering information from people who are in the field, who do this on a day-to-day basis, right? And then we are translating what they are saying, right, into these formats: block diagram, flow chart, table, right, Excel, spreadsheet. The sister have been doing such an amazing job, right? Yesterday I mentioned, and she matters quickly perform the modification right there. 0 here, it happens to be 4 zeros. 1 here happened to be 3 zeros and a 1. 2 here happened to be exactly 0010. 3 is actually 0011, according to the formula I share with you, right? 4 happened to be 2 to the power of 2 is 4. 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3. But the coefficient is 0. You zero that out. The only one left is 2 to the power of 2, right? 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 2, 5, right there. 6, 7, all the way to 15, right there, which is all ones, right? So great work, she matters. Great work to Dr. Nomasanto as well. This is awesome. This alone already. You take this is the ASCII code. This is the ASCII code, y'all. You cannot have a PC, a computer, without the ASCII code. Impossible. Impossible. So basically, they took the 256 Odoo and then they put it on the computer. So currently, we have the 256 Odoo in every single device. Should we sue? I dropped a video on that, man. That video is just going viral. I dropped a video saying that we have all the evidence, salient proof that this is the knowledge of our ancestor, and we should be able to, right, to claim for the ownership of those, of the software and the communication system, the coding system. And I'm telling you, some people actually responded to me and say, we want to help you with the lawsuit. I'm telling you, I'm not giving names, don't get mad, but I had people writing me on the Telegram and telling me that they were in the field. And I'm like, maybe it can be a bug or AI, or maybe someone spying also, sometimes. But I had people coming to me and be like, we want to help with the procedure, with taking legal action. And I'm like, it seemed a little bit weird, right? That the same day I mentioned that in my video, and the person said, I heard in your video this, it looks like someone wants to know if we are serious about it or not. I'm going to tell you right now, it's just for entertainment purpose only, because don't come after my ass now. Right? I can be easily taken out like that. Like Google and Microsoft are going to be like, this guy can actually do that and maybe win it. So we must maybe shut him down quickly, right? Before he, no, this is just for entertainment purpose only, right? But we have everything we need. We have all the information to press charges, right? To basically claim to be the owner of that communication language, because it's using our information, and it has been using our information, right? So, but it's not going to go anywhere. We can press charge and make the claim, but it's not going to go anywhere. I'm not telling you, the Muzungu, no. You think Muzungu is going to let that go? No way. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere, bro. But if it was the other way around, if it was us who took their information and make billion and trillion of dollars today, they will have sued our ass. I'm telling you, they're going to be like, those black people took our knowledge. They owe us. So going forward, for every single electronic, right, we need 25 or 30% of that money. They would have done that. I'm not kidding. Seriously. They would have done that, right? So the thing is, we don't have the power, right? We don't run the show, guys. Unfortunately, we don't run the show. I don't think it's going to go further. It's not going to go far. People can talk about it. It will maybe be in the news, but it's not going to. I don't think Muzungu is going to do everything they can to shut it down. But it was funny how I've seen people stepping up and wanted to help with the procedure, with taking legal action. I liked it. I appreciate that, right? I appreciate that. That video is, I just posted it yesterday, right? Yesterday? Yeah, we already at 2,000 view, right? Just yesterday. So, yeah, so Grand Rising, y'all. For those who are just joining, we are near to the end. We are wrapping it up for today. So if I can come up at noon during my lunchtime, I will. Yesterday, man, I wanted to run away from the free lunch, right? So it was the company offering lunch to the employee, and I wanted to sneak away. Usually I don't show up, right? This time they got me. They're like, man, we never see you. What's going on? This time, HR mentioned that she was behind me the whole time. Like, man, you're not going anywhere. We are watching you. So you're like, everybody needs to be there. It was kind of like mandatory, right? No pizza. I don't eat pizza, man. Pizza, no. It was a buffet. at the food was good, man. It was super fresh. It was good. It was a newly opened restaurant, Indian. It was Indian, like biryani, uh, vegetable salads. The Indian spices thing, right? Some are good, right? The spice can be sometimes too much, but this one here, man, it was super fresh. It was good. It wasn't too much curry, too much of that stuff. But the food was good. The food was really, really good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, pizza stuff, man. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't pizza at all, man. But it was good buffet. It was good buffet. Yeah. Yeah, she might have said, take a break and socialize. We already socializing in the office, right? We see each other face every day, every morning in the hall and all that. So, but yeah, it's good sometimes to social. I agree, right? To sit around and not talking about work, talking about day to day stuff. It was about election. Trump won. I knew he was going to win. And I think if Kamala won the war of Israel with and what's going on will have been amped up. She will have amped that up, right? She will have her husband is from there, right? He's so, but I knew Trump was going to win. I knew Trump was going to win. He's not the best, but what are we going to do, man? What are we going to do? Someone had to be there, right? So, anyways, all right, guys. So thank you, y'all. Thank you for tapping the screen, sharing the live. Thank you for the roses. As always, May 50-50, man. She broke the scale again today. Thank you for the subscriber. Right, 13 out of 20, man. That's awesome. So thank you, guys. And yeah, follow She Matters. Request a message in the group chat for those who are listening here and they understand what the block diagram thing, the flow chart, right? If you get it, you understood it, you can take the ownership of putting the flow chart and the diagram together, right? It does not have to be exactly it, right? Don't expect that we are expecting you to have it 100. No, 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 no. It's just do what you can do, what you heard here, what you learned, and then put it together in a block diagram format, right? And then we can adjust, we can make correction, right? Once we start, I always say this, but some session we will need to hold it on Telegram, right? This morning I got a violation, guys. Just after 10 minutes into the live, violation. 10 minutes. We just showed the table. This table was on the screen. The table was on the, just like that. Just the table. So basically we've been showing, and we are showing what we showed this morning, and we got a violation. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. We didn't talk about anybody, no politics, no nothing, just this on the screen. And we were talking about the table. And then, man, we got hit. We got hit, man. Right? We got hit. Right? It's right here. Right? I think I posted it in the group chat. Right? Right there. Look at that. After 10 minutes into the live, and we were just showing the table, the Excel table, right there, that She Matters has updated yesterday, and then we got a violation out of nowhere. So thank you, y'all, and then yeah, so hopefully at noon, in about 5 hours from now, or tomorrow morning. So thank you, y'all. We got work to do, man. We got so much to do. I don't know. Sometimes like, where are we gonna start, right? But it's one at a time, right? One at a time. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Thank you.